Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. This is Martha with Nature Niche. Have you ever heard the saying, squirreled away for a rainy day? Well, that saying is about caching, also known as hoarding, which is an animal behavior that involves storing food items in locations hidden from the sight of other members of the same species or other species that might want to steal or pilfer your food stores. So it's a long-term strategy to ensure food supply during shortages, especially over the lean winter months. And animals usually cache to prepare for future scarcity, but they also store or save food just for a day or two, maybe to have energy on a cold winter morning or on a rainy day, and also to let fruit ripen for a couple of days. So food caching is a widespread phenomenon, something that several animal species do. In fact, over 300 species of birds, mammals, and arthropods do this kind of behavior. Probably most well known are squirrels for caching acorns, but mice and chipmunks, jays, nuthatches, ravens, shrikes, all sorts of creatures, even insects, do this sort of behavior. And that's why you see animals flying with or carrying off food in your backyards rather than consuming it immediately. So a lot of wildlife species actually search for food items that have low perishability, meaning they're less likely to decay or spoil quickly. So they look for large, heavy nuts, acorns that haven't been, or pine cones that haven't been shelled or opened or aren't infested with insects. And they'll often eat right away the things that are more perishable, like fresh berries, insects, acorns that have the cap has come off, or they've been infested by some sort of insect that would eat away at it over time. So some species like beavers store a very large amount of food in one location called a larder. So that's an underwater location where they have a mass of tree branches that they gnaw away on over the winter months when their surrounding pond is frozen. A lot of birds and squirrels do something called scatter hoarding, where they distribute multiple caches over a wide area, and then they use their memories to make sure that they're locating those far apart, and also to relocate them over time. So most of our common North American feeder birds, they'll have, a single bird will have hundreds to thousands of separate caches over the landscape across their home range. Red squirrels are pretty well known for caching spruce cones in large piles. Those are called middens. And they also hang mushrooms from evergreen tree branches to let them dry and store them for later eating. They have a really good sense of smell, and that helps them both relocate their food caches and raid caches made by birds. Gray squirrels, their memory's not so great, and they often can have trouble relocating their caches. They can forget more than 70% of their nut caches, so that's really helps with things like oak regeneration. Chickadees have really keen spatial memory, and they can remember precise locations going off of visual cues like landmarks, and they may have as many as 10,000 caches, each bird. And the hippocampus, the part of the brain associated with memory, actually increases over the fall and winter months as much as 30%. and then it'll decrease again come spring when finding hidden food is not as important. Gray or Canada jays are known for caching in trees, and they use their saliva to kind of goo together bundles of multiple food items, insects, fruit, and seeds. And their saliva is antibacterial that helps prevent rotting. And these birds breed in the winter when there's still lots of snow, and they're able to feed their young from these saliva-bound food caches. With global warming and higher average winter temperatures, food caches are spoiling before spring, making the future of that species uncertain. Larger birds, known as corvids in the corvid group, crows, jays, and nutcrackers are master long-term cachers. They have special adaptations. Jays have a distensible esophagus, so they can store multiple acorns or multiple peanuts with each flight to cache things. And crows and nutcrackers have a pouch either in front of or under their tongues that allow them to carry multiple items at once. And oftentimes animals try to cache as inconspicuously as possible. So ravens are known to hide behind structures, so their other ravens can't see what they're doing, where they're stashing things. And birds like scrub jays bury items, and they tend to do this in shady locations, so it's harder to see what they're up to. So I hope that was a good introduction to the concept of caching. I thought it would be good to explain that as we launch our Nature Cache rewards points with the store. Wanted to make sure you got the joke. Hope you have a good week. Bye.